Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to show you three kind of easy ways to really track this, because you can ask people in your center to do stuff, but you got to have a way to make people accountable and track it. And so I'm going to show you three fairly straightforward ways that I've used. I've used a lot of project management software, and I'm currently using Asana, the one on the bottom, and we'll get to that in a moment. But starting out with just something simple like Google Sheets. So on the Google Sheets, so these are just a few businesses that we've put in here that you might have as your listing, and this may even be how you downloaded it from whatever source you're using to get your list. And what we've done over here is we've made these columns drop-down fields under data validation. Okay, so we can make it a list of items, Dr. A, Dr. B, separated by commas. And then if you wanted to pick, 1 through 4, let's say, and assign those to Dr. A, actually you'd have to pick them this way. You could just drag that down and they would be all assigned to Dr. A. Or you can just, individually, but basically you would pick a row of these and then drag the provider down so you fill them all in. And that's one simple way to do it. And then once they've done their call, they can use a similar drop-down list over here and said, okay, I've called this one responded, and maybe I'm going to put a memo field here. Okay, and so they responded and said, coming for next tour on Wednesday. Okay, it could be as simple as that. All right, and the next one I'm going to show you, I'm actually going to jump back to the slide for a moment. You won't see it, but it will come up on your screen to get the Trello example. So here's the same thing on Trello. If you haven't used this, it's a very easy to use card system where you set up each column with whatever category you want. So again, to called, responded, tour scheduled, came for a tour. You can add whatever else you want on here. And then you can put your list of companies. Now you don't want to add them one by one. The way this works is you put in a company or anything here. When you click on it, you can now add comments. You can add members. So if you want to add all of your providers, you would add them here. Okay, and that's how you can assign different people to these cards. So each card is a call. Then once they've called, they would move it over to here. It's easy drag and drop kind of thing. Okay, and you don't want to add all these individually, right? You can easily add them by coming over here and taking your spreadsheet data, and you just do copy. I just hit Control-C to copy, and then I can come over and I can make a card, and then just hit Control-V to paste. And when I click Add, watch what happens here. Otherwise, it looks like it's all in one card. That wouldn't be very helpful. But if you want, we can create a card for every new line. So we're going to create 7 cards, and now I've got one for each company. Okay, so then I can start going down the list, and I can assign these to myself or to different members. Okay, so that's a very easy way to just sort of, drop them to the next element. And then, whoever's supervising these folks can look at this once a week or once a month and see what's the progress on all these. You can even set these up so that the cards become stale and they start to look frayed after a while. So it's just another nice tool. And then a third way I'm going to show you, which is what I'm using now, I really like, is called Asana, another project management system. Okay, so this is what it looks like on Asana. After hours provider calls, I've just created, I have lots of projects in here, but I've created a project called After Hours Provider Calls. And I'm not going to go into all of how this works. There's lots of tutorials if you're interested in something like this. But basically, again, I've made these different categories: to call, called, responded, scheduled for tour. And all I do is very simply, again, I can come over and get my list, copy the list, come back to Asana. I'm going to hit enter here, and this would create the next entry. But since I have a whole list in memory now, I'm just going to hit Control V, and look, all those companies come over as a separate task. And now I can start calling. And if I want to assign it to somebody, I can do that. Or I can pick a whole range. Okay. So I just shift click all of these, and I can assign these all to me. So if you're the manager or the medical director or the owner, you can take a whole list of folks here, and you can say, okay, I've got 100 here, so I'm going to assign 30 of these to each provider. So it's very easy to do that. And then when they bring up their Asana, they're only going to see the ones that are assigned to them. So by the same token, we're going to go to the first one. We're going to do our call. We're going to follow the script. Maybe I would even put the script right here, like here. I might put to call. I might even put the script right in here, just so it's easy for them to refer to. And then, so once they've called, you can see these different sections here show up right here. So after they've called, they just come and now they click called. And now it comes down in the called column. So you know exactly, which companies are in which status. Maybe this one they've called and they responded and they're going to come in for the tour. And maybe I'll put a note here, coming for tour next Wednesday. Okay, and then anyone looking at this, supervisors can see exactly what's going on. Okay, so those are three fairly easy ways to track this process as well. Okay, so you've got those three ways. You can check those out. There are links for each of these in the online learning area. I'll jump back over there in a minute and we'll just review what you have available in there.